Sick. Okay, brother. Well, obviously we meet once again. The fucking absolute destroyer. If you want to introduce yourself, bro, for everybody. Who are you? What do
What's
you
up,
do?
soldier?
Let's go.
My name's Rohan Assange. I've been working with Jack, dude, for like not even 2 months at this point, like maybe a month and a half. Who knows? I think we've had three one-to-one calls or four one-to-one calls. It's crazy. In that time, I've progressed rapidly as a high ticket closer. There's a bunch of reasons for that. A lot of it is because of Jack. I am now been in offer for about 2, 3 weeks, pulling in about 25K cash collected in like my first 3 days. And now I'm just trying to find the right offer for me.
Yeah, it's fucking sick, bro. And to be honest with you, like I did nothing in this whole process. Like I just gave you the tools, bro. You did what was necessary to do with the tools. Because it's easy to say that, like I could take all the credit, but I literally done nothing. You done it all. And so you should be immensely proud of yourself, bro, from the progress that you've made. Overall, like obviously what we're gonna do today is we're gonna jump on, we're gonna review one of your calls. It can be one that closed, can be one that didn't, completely up to you. But
Sure.
based on where you're at, what's been the biggest like turning point for you with the success that you've like generated?
The biggest turning point. You know what? Like, I think being part of a community helps reframe your standards, right? And it helps reframe your idea for what's possible, right? Like if you just work like a normal job or you go to university and you spend time with your friends, right? Like if you kind of give in, if you kind of if you're a believer in that idea that you're the function of the five people that you spend the most time with, right? Then the people that you spend your time with normal life, like these aren't guys who are pulling in probably 10, 15, 20K months, right? Like you don't know anyone. And it seems so unfeasible. Like it just seems like it's so out of grasp. Like there's no way you can get there. But then when you change your surroundings and you're spending time with guys who are pulling in those numbers, and you realize like, oh, I know like Joe. Joe's a normal guy. I know Henry. Henry's a normal guy. They work incredibly hard, but you're like, if these guys can pull in this type of money, there is no reason to say why I can't. And having that sets the standard,
Yeah,
like your idea for what's possible.
that's actually a mad takeaway. I never even thought of it like that before. That your community will reframe your standard. Yeah, I think that's a very valid point as well. And I truly believe, bro, that you will be the top cash collector within the community. Like Henry was worried, bro. I'm not worried. Worried is the wrong word, but he was like definitely felt the pressure from you being on the same offer as him, bro. For sure. He even messaged me, and Henry's obviously one of the top guys and will continue to be one of the top guys for sure. But it goes to show the immense amount of work that you put in on the front end, because all of this is front load heavy regardless, isn't it? Like training, like everything really.
Yeah, all the work is at the start. And then you kind of get to reap the rewards a bit later. Like right now, I'm in Argentina, and I do like maybe 5, 6 hours, which is a lot in fairness, right? When I'm on holiday, like, I don't think many people are doing that when they're on holiday. I know some people are doing more, but in the day, it's like I just do 7 to 1 in the morning, and then I get to enjoy the rest of my day in Argentina and get in the sun.
Yeah, fucking chilling. Where in Argentina are you?
And Mendoza, it's the wine region. I'm not even a wine drinker, but still T-bone steaks and like a Malbec, I'll take
Yeah,
it.
fucking fantastic, bro. Let's pull up this call then, motherfucker. Let's run it. We got
I love
53.
it. There you go.
Yeah, that's the one. Sick. David Grandy. Here we go. Okay. Sick. Well, we got 27 minutes. Damn. Okay. Bro's
No, it's
closing.
because you got it on 2x, bro.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't the guy just during close, the guy just ended the meeting, and I was like, "What's going on here?" So I have to follow this up.
Yeah.
But it was during payment. He just decided to end the call. But I'll give you a bit of context. Like this guy, so the offer for this is a high ticket coaching offer. So it's like to get him back into high ticket sales and to get him landed on an offer. This guy's been sales in like his entire life. He had a bit of an ego on him, not the biggest one, mostly because he does have sales experience. A lot of my conversation was questioning why he's not in the position he wants to be in, if he has all this experience, because it seems like he should be. He had bought a coaching offer in the past about 2 years ago, took no action on it. The key thing here is that he's been settling for less, and he's just being comfortable. That
Yeah.
was the key thing I tried to hit at.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. I mean, it definitely looks like he's been settling for comfort for sure. Fuck. Okay. All right. Let's see how you get on then.
Yeah, Northeast. Yeah, it's near New York, Boston. Yep.
Sure. Okay, that's good to know. I guess David, I'm assuming that you saw some sort of ad on Instagram or Facebook, right? I'm guessing like I should do like what
Right.
made you click on that to schedule a meeting with us today?
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking. I've been looking for a high ticket sales position, remotely for a while. I've been doing sales most of my life, sales and marketing, and I've actually bought a couple of different sales programs in this kind of a niche. So yeah, I just been looking for a way to get set up with with somebody's business and do that remotely. Yeah.
So that
Where,
makes sense.
where did you say you are?
watching-
You're located?
I'm from England. I don't know if you can tell from the accent, but
Yeah.
I'm in Argentina today for the next 3-ish weeks.
Oh, nice.
Thanks for the job. You get to pull out a business expense and then travel about for a bit. It's not too shabby.
Nice. So what do you do exactly?
The same as what you want to get into. I do high-ticket sales.
Oh, really? But you're traveling?
Yeah.
Like if somebody asks you a question, it's like you always want to answer the question with a question. So it's like, oh, what do you do? Well, it's like, sure, I'm more than happy to speak about like what I do, man. I mean, the biggest question I have for you is like, you can repeat the same question that you asked, or you can like challenge a different question, but you basically just want to brush it off because whoever is asking the questions holds the frame.
Bro, that's interesting. Nice.
Yeah. It's like a little psychological thing. It's like fucking the judge asks the questions at a court case, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Or, like, the fucking people in charge of the conversation ask the questions at a court case.
Yeah, because I'm aware of that for the rest of the call. Like, I make sure I'm in charge for the rest of the call, but like setting the standard at the start is more important.
Definitely most important, especially 2 minutes in, because like you want to make sure that you're holding that fucking higher frame on that motherfucker. But he seems like a nice guy, to be fair. But we'll see.
Put in my calendar. They stick balls in there. I close them. That's it.
Oh, right. Okay. So you're traveling personally wherever you want.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Sweet.
Which is yeah, it's quite sweet. It's quite nice. I'm very lucky. I guess, David, so you seem to have like quite a lot of experience here. Like you have experience in sales. You have purchased some sort of coaching or like mentorship agreement. Like, it seems like you're in a fairly good position to be already enrolled. Why do you feel like you're not on one?
I just haven't found, I guess, the right people to connect to get one like you guys. And I'm doing other stuff, but this was kind of like the opportunity that I definitely want, just to have that freedom, to travel, do what I want, and focus on other goals that I have.
A great question to ask here would be like, what more do you want to do that you're not able to do right now? Maybe you asked that, not sure.
Yeah, okay. I see.
You want to stretch more on like, now he's giving you what he wants. Like the idea here would be to build, at least if I was on the school, like my mind would be like, let me build out what he wants. Like, let me create that as a picture. Let me get some real fucking good clarity around that to be able to then paint a solid picture as to what he doesn't have, basically.
I definitely did. I don't know whether that started before the call recording started. I had an issue with my Fathom, or it happens later in the call. Maybe I didn't go into enough detail, but the gist of it was like he wants more freedom. He wants to be able to travel. He wants he wants to be able to be remote. The goal was like 10K per month, upwards of like 100K per month.
Yeah. Okay. All right. 10K per month, upwards of 100K a month was a fucking mad range. That.
Yeah.
But he's also said obviously he wants to do it, but like you can even challenge the want. Like, do you know the difference between like, I don't know, wanting something versus actually like going for it means? Because like I want a Rolex, or I want a like fucking Ferrari on the drive. Like my question is like, are you going to like go through an excessive amount of failure for something that you want over something that you like, that you desire?
Well, like just questioning the reality of his desires.
Exactly.
Like just seeing how strong it is.
Yeah, like really picking apart like the weaker language, like I try, or like this and this, and like he's just saying like loads of like kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out, like very passive language. And once you
What do you want to hear?
Like, not necessarily I want freedom, but you're like if you say what's the biggest motivation behind you wanting to make money online, it'd be like freedom.
Yeah.
Like but it's not necessarily what they say, it's how they say it. If they're like, oh, I want freedom, versus like, I want freedom in my life, man. Like I want to be able to do all of these things and experience this, and then they're like really elaborate on their goals versus like surface level.
Yeah.
That's what you want to be able to pull. Maybe it's not going to happen straight away, but if you imagine it to be like a ball of thread or yarn or whatever the fuck you call it, you start to pull it and it starts to just unravel itself right after a while.
Yeah.
So the idea is to do the same. You unravel the person by asking the questions that pull the goal deeper. But we'll see how you get on in a sec now anyway.
Sure. Where did you learn high ticket sales from? Like what is it you've been doing to build that skill?
I mean, I've been doing sales, like just regular sales jobs and marketing jobs most of my life. Recently was in Arizona doing SEO strategy and sales for an agency. I mean, I've sold everything from cars to Cutco knives over the years. So it's just would obviously like to apply skills to make some really good income, you know.
Yeah, like leveraging your skills best. I guess you told me that you got some sort of training as well in high ticket sales. Can you give me some context on that?
Like you're kind of just skimming surface level. Like, do you see? Like you're not pulling the threads unless you've done it previously before the Fathom came in. It's like the most effective way that you could operate on this call is you could pull the thread of like, well, I want to be able to get some income, more income. Like, why is it that you want more income? Because the money is going to give you everything else. Like that's like the floodgate. As soon as you get that, boom, you're like you're onto it, and then you can go into like, well, what efforts have you put forward? You mentioned you had sales training. Who was it by? What have you done? Why have you not been successful with that? You know, and then challenge his input against his goal. This was a big thing for like Joe, also Henry as well, and a few of the other guys. It's like the reason that you get the goal is to challenge their actions against something. Because if you don't have like a challenge to go, if you don't have a goal to go off, then the challenge is going to be weak. You know, you're just challenging. That's when a person can feel like a little bit attacked in a way, because they feel like you're attacking them. Versus when you attack the input, it's like you're attacking the behavior, you're not attacking them.
Sure.
But in order to have an effective challenge, you need to have something to challenge against. So it all comes back to this like first part basically on every call. On every call that like somebody should take, you know.
Yeah, there was a program I purchased. I think it was a couple years ago. I forget what the name of it is, but
Cash collectors.
I went through that, and you know, just in this whole process of possibly finding jobs, but they weren't. I don't think they were setting up positions for it. It was just, you know, training.
A couple years ago.
It was a course.
A couple years ago.
Yeah.
Like it was about 2 years. Like 2 years is a very long period of time. Like you definitely could have got a role in that period of time. Had you been looking? Like, I don't mean to make assumptions, right? But like, what do you feel like held you back from trying to find a role in the past 2 years?
I think that would have been better asked as a question as well. I always try to like steer away from statements if I can, and go for more like, I used to have to catch myself out of this all the time as well, bro. And it took a lot of like reinforcement, because I feel like at this point, like, you know, the questions, you just need to be able to like be reminded more than you need to be taught, sort of thing, because you put in a lot of work. So it's more like whenever you think of going to make a statement, try and catch yourself out of like, how can I reframe this into a question? And you'll be surprised how quickly you can change it.
Do you mean like me stating that 2 years is a long time?
No, that's fine. More like
Oh.
you definitely could have found a role in that time.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah. So it's like you could have reframed it as like, do you feel that if you had put like, do you feel that you genuinely put in as much work as you needed to over the last 10 years to achieve the goals that you want? No. Or do you feel if you did, then you might have been able to find a role to be able to get where you want to go? Or you can even remove might of. Do you feel like, David, if you genuinely had put in absolutely all of the fucking drive that you needed to, all of the steps that you needed to, that you'd already be in the position that you want to be? Would you agree or disagree?
Yeah.
If you want to make a statement, one little pro tip, yeah, is you can always ask like, would it be fair to say this? Or would you agree or disagree this? That way it's like kind of like a question statement that's like on the fence a little bit. It's like you can get away more with that sort of shit.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like I've been pursuing a role in 2 years. Over 2 years, it just hasn't come up. It's not like I'm applying to every place, because honestly, I don't know where to apply to get high tickets.
You see how he just like admitted to his faults there. He's like, I'm not doing anything. Then he like covers it up with I don't know where, which is like, boom, like that's the beginning of the objections, right? It's the beginning of the bullshit. It's gonna start flooding out, I bet, over like next 5 minutes.
Sales, remote positions.
Yeah, it's yeah, they don't just come up on like LinkedIn and Indeed.
Exactly.
You kind of have to be, yeah, you're right. You kind of have to be like a part of it, right? Usually part of that is like you purchase some sort of mentorship. The guy who runs the mentorship will have connections, or they'll have someone that posts a bunch of like. I can show you all of the jobs that we have available in a second. But I just wanted to provide some level of clarity, man. Because it seems like you've been like inactive with high ticket sales for like a fairly decent chunk of time now. I know you do sales as a job, but as you were aware, it's a very different type of thing. What we offer is also a mentorship. So we train people how to become a high ticket salesperson, and then we also get them landed, because we have like just because of the way our business, we work with other businesses who need high ticket closers, and we connect the closers with the businesses. Does that make sense?
Yes.
The reason why I
How
said
does the
this
language act?
was just because part of the offer that we're running at the moment, the ad suggests that it's free, and I have a lot of calls where people come in thinking that it's free. I go to pitch, and the expectations were free. It's then a paid mentorship, and then like turns out they're broke. So I just wanted to set the expectations that he was able to spend some sort of like investment into something, which is why I did it there.
Sure. Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, damn, like, why are you pitching already, bro? Like, what the fuck?
It's what I've been doing recently, just because like I didn't want to waste an hour in case he thought it was totally free and was not willing to. Otherwise, it just gets to end up being a waste of time. Otherwise, what do you think there?
Yeah, I mean, I would try and get it like pre-call, like give them a pre-call or whatever, like be like, yo, by the way, like this is not like a free, like obviously like do a small discovery, don't just call them up and be like, yo, this is not a free mentorship. Like give them a kind of like qualify them on the pre-call if you want, or on the call, you can say it at the top of the call. Like when I used to work on VShred, the tripwire offer, sometimes used to be like, there is an option at the end of this where we do have like a paid mentorship for you to go through, which will be able to get you to your goals much quicker than just going down the route of like the free route, basically. But if it does work, is that something that you'd be like interested in looking at? Like you can't say no, obviously. Like I'm not here to like twist your leg or anything. I just want to give you all options so that you can make the best decision for you. So you frame it in like their best interest, more or less. Yeah. If you are going to do that. Also, if somebody keeps looking away and is clearly not paying attention, like you have to call that shit out. Like, bro, is there somebody like, is there a woman with her tits out like over there or something that you keep looking at or something? Like maybe they don't have to be that direct. But like, is there like a sexy woman getting undressed next to you, bro? Like, why do you keep looking over there?
Yeah.
Then they're just going to be focused on you, you know?
That makes sense.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Just knowing that it's a paid mentorship. I just wanted to make sure that the expectations were clear so that we don't waste an hour of that time, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you're good.
So why then? So like your goals, right, of being able to have some of that freedom, being able to travel, right, through ticket sales, what would that do for you personally or your family?
Yeah, I'm used to all these questions as far as doing like that kind of consultative sales approach. Just
sure, but you know that I need to understand more about you, and in order the purpose of the call is really just for me to get to know you a little bit better. So of course I have to go through these questions. Like if I asked you what your name was, and then you said, "Oh, I've been asked this before," you know what I mean? It's like I need to know who you are. That's fair, right?
Of course. It's just funny because I'm so used to it. Yeah, just the freedom of reaching goals.
You see, when you ask like a kind of set, like you are, it kind of seems a little bit scattered in process. Not necessarily that we have to stick to like a strict process, because obviously, you know, that's not what we teach. But what I would say is that it's actually very important to like build on the goals when he brings them up, because now you've had to bring them back up, and now it feels like he feels like it's a sales call because you're bringing the goals back up and you're asking what would it do for him personally, versus like getting more clarity of something like, in what way would your life change, rather than what would that do for you personally. Like you want to use as little. Think, would a salesperson ask this question? If the answer is yes, then you probably don't want to ask that question for the most part, because what 99% of salespeople do is what everybody knows, which triggers resistance, especially if they're already in sales as well.
Sure. Traveling, maybe buying a house, things like that. And working remotely, it's you get sick of working for other people. I mean, but nobody likes the corporate job. So, unless you're getting paid multiple six figures,
Why is working remotely so important to you? Why is traveling so important to you?
Well, it means I don't have to necessarily travel, commute to a job and work at the same place every day. That's just kind of my personality.
Okay. Buying a house, is that just for yourself or for anybody else? I'm just trying to understand the situation a bit better.
Oh yeah, it's for myself.
Okay, sure. When we think about that, right? So when we think about this life that we have, where we are able to buy a house for ourselves, where we are able to travel, where we are able to work remotely, and we kind of crawl back some of that freedom that we want. How much income are you attaching to that?
I would say 6 figures to start. Probably 10,000 a month.
Okay, but like to start, what about? I appreciate the goal always changes, right? But do you feel like that's what you're capable of?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm capable of $1 million a year at least. It's just a matter of the opportunities, depending on the commission and all that.
He's externalizing his goals now. He's like, yeah, I'm capable of $1 million a year. Well, because of opportunities. Well, who's in control of the opportunities that they take there? Who's in control of creating the opportunities? So is it down to the opportunities, or is it down to you? Because
you really just get it at the source of the fire, don't you?
Yeah, bro. You
just get it for
just go for the throat. Like literally, just go for the throat. Like there's no, it's like a bare, like I see sales calls as kind of like bare knuckle boxing matches, right? Like there's no holds barred. Like it's literally like the Wild West. You literally just go straight for the person in a way where you're genuinely helping them like build out a life that they want to have. Like clearly this guy's just super vague and he's just like a corporate sales world, and like, you're gonna need to dig deep with this motherfucker because he's out of shape. Clearly doesn't look after himself. He's not really even paying attention. So yeah, definitely a few things that we would need to touch on here. But yeah, I mean, there was definitely like a good bit of like thread pulling, if you like, at the start, where you're saying, okay, cool, you know, why is it important to you? And like when he says it's important to me because it's just my personality, that then gives you an identity. Well, what is the person? Like, what is your personality? Like, who are you? You're asking like direct questions like that. It's like he's going to open up like, I am this person, I am this person. Now you can start to put holes and pick faults, more like identify the holes and the faults that are in his way of thinking and how he perceives himself, if there are any, to be able to then offer new perspectives for him to step into to build the gap and build the fucking world view and picture of where he wants to go, you know?
Yeah, like 100K months.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah, anything's possible with this type of position.
Yeah, I agree. I guess how long is that something you've wanted?
Yeah, I mean, for a while now, it's just a matter of executing and taking control of the opportunity.
Yeah.
How long was a while?
Well, I mean, I'm definitely older than you. It's just a matter of I've been doing marketing and sales for, gosh, since I was in my 20s. So it's been close to 30 years.
And the whole 30 years, you've always wanted to achieve these goals of like freedom, travel, working remotely.
Yeah, to a certain extent. Yeah.
What do you
I'm
Good.
sorry?
What do you mean? To a certain extent.
Well, I mean, I've always had the entrepreneurial type of goals to, you know, eventually have my own business or work remotely and make, you know, multiple six figures.
What do you feel like is internally?
Boom. He's already told you what stopped him a moment ago. Did you pick up on it?
No, dude.
No. He said, all I need to do is execute.
Right.
So his problem
He
is
hasn't been
execution.
executed.
But obviously, like, that's not the real problem if you dive deeper, but he's given you the door to kick off the hinges, basically, yeah? Like, he's given you the execution. So it's like, you did pick up right. Like, I would have gone the same route of, like, how long is a while? He said, what, like, fucking 30 years or whatever. Like, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And always when somebody says, I've always had that entrepreneurial mindset, again, like, that's when you say, like, well, to you, what's an entrepreneurial mindset? Is it not taking action on your goals like you haven't done for the last 30 years? There's a difference between an entrepreneurial mindset and an entrepreneurial life.
Yeah, we've been in a 9 to 5 for 30 years.
Yeah, sure. So what about that as entrepreneurial? Fuck
Yeah.
all. All right. Like, respect to the guy, obviously he's trying to change. Like, I'm not trying to slate him. But it's more like, well, there is an element of like lack of respect for the guy actually, because he's been in fucking 9 to 5 for 30 years. So at the end of the day, like, he clearly hasn't changed. But then it's like, well, why has he not done that? And so like, as long as you dive down this execution route, I'm sure you'll get it anyway. But like, it would have been a quick way to do it regardless. So yeah, does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What do you feel like has held you back from achieving these goals over the past 30 years?
Gosh, internally,
Because think about it, now he's like distracted. Like, let's say the TV's on, he's going to be trying to think whilst being stimulated by whatever, like, fucking Babe Station or whatever he's got on in the background, right? And he's just like, fuck, like, all I'm seeing is tits. I can't even think, like, or whatever. So it's like, you need to make sure that he's actually fucking on the ball. Otherwise, like, I don't know. It's just, I always just like to make sure anyway.
probably, I guess actually, that's a good question. I don't
That's a
know.
new question, huh? That's a new
I don't
one.
know. Yeah, internally, I mean, I guess being able to find the right opportunity to do it. It's not like I've been basically working for other people, mostly agencies or corporate, for years. It's just finding the right opportunity to take advantage of it.
30 years though, like what do you feel like held you back from finding the right opportunity?
Well, it's not like I've always been pursuing this. It's like when it comes up, like a couple years ago where I purchased the course, that's kind of where the seed was planted, more or less. You know what I mean?
Okay, then so if we look for the past 2 years, right? And I appreciate maybe the course that you got like didn't help you try and find a high ticket role, but why do you feel like maybe you didn't take more agency in order to go and find that role that you wanted?
Well, I mean, I was working for the agency, so I didn't really pursue it. It wasn't like I was constantly trying to find a high ticket sales position. It was just that I took the course. I was working for the agency doing SEO, had my normal life in Arizona. And now that I'm moved back to Rhode Island, it's something, working remotely is kind of the main goal. It's just a matter of which type of job I can get or position.
Dave, can I be candid with you for a second? I'm just gonna be...
Yeah, that was exactly what, like, I probably would have cut him off a little bit before because he's just fucking yapping. But like, yeah, I'm glad that you did cut him off there. That's very good. Let's see what you say.
Really honest.
Yeah, sure.
I got some major brain fog here.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, bro. He fucking gave me brain fog just the way that he was speaking. Like, it doesn't even make sense. But again, remember, like, when you ask him what internally stopped him, and then he goes on to say that, well, actually, like, it was just the fucking It was the agency. I didn't pursue it. It wasn't the right opportunity. Like, that's not internal. So like, fuck all of those answers off. Yeah, okay, cool. I get you didn't find the right opportunities, but if you believed that you'd be successful, would you have gone out and found them? Or would you have continued to work at the fucking agency with your normal life? No, I would have gone out and found them. Well, the only thing then stopping you was what? I wasn't constantly pursuing it. Okay, how come? And this is why it's important to get like a really deep goal out of him, because the deeper the goal is, this is what I mean. Like, obviously, who do you know in your life that's gonna like constantly pursue something that's like really uncertain and really like vague and like really like kind of like gray zone at the start? If all they want to do is like travel a bit and like maybe buy a house, like not many people, right? So, my man, the idea is then build out the goal, get it really fucking clear. Doesn't have to be loads of questions, doesn't have to be super in depth, like 5-10 minutes max. And then boom, you've got the clarity. You can then jump to the current situation, really dig into like the mindset of where he's at, what he's struggling with, what he needs to overcome to get to the next stage of his life. And after you've then done that, you can then go into the past, understand how that same mindset is obviously limiting him. But is going to be like, and if you do that and especially stretch over the gap 30 years, you really get a lot of fucking pain out of this guy, for sure.
Oh, I had the question, so I'm gone from my head.
Oh no.
Where did it go? I had a sick question to ask. Sorry, I have some crazy brain fog today. I have that happens. That really annoys me. What was I going to ask? This is really annoying me. What was I going to ask? I had a great question in mind.
Yeah, don't like never say like never be so vulnerable to that level where it like kind of lowers your frame in a way as well.
Yeah.
Because you just want to make sure that you're like, because otherwise he's just like, damn, is this guy professional? Like, what the hell, sort of thing, right? You can say like, oh man, that question slipped from my mind, and quickly think on your feet and go for a different question. That's why it's like sometimes, bro, when I want to ask a question, I'll just like write down the question if I thought
That's
of
a good idea, bro. That's a good idea.
Because like so many times, bro, I've gone through like a reframe and forgot what I was even reframing at the start, and I'm like, fuck, what was I reframing?
Yeah,
but that's just one good thing that you can do. Just write like little paraphrases down and shit.
that's a good idea.
For sure.
What was the theme?
It's been about 2 years finding a job. You can oh, I got it. There we go. Back in my head. So, do you feel like this isn't the question? This is a pretext.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you are 100% content with the outcome that you currently have?
No, because I'm searching for something remote.
Sure. I guess. Do you feel like the reason why you're not in the position that you want to be in is because you allowed yourself to settle for so long? Because you had these other jobs, you had these other agencies. Maybe they paid okay, but they were like good, but not quite the thing you wanted. But you allowed yourself to settle for that.
Yeah, of course. That's the trap.
Because there's this idea. Are you familiar with the region beta paradox?
Say that again.
Are you familiar with the region beta paradox?
Region B to
Beta like beta, like the Greek letter.
Oh, okay, no.
All right. So the idea is that if I were to ask you to travel a mile, you'd probably walk it. But if I asked you to travel 2 miles, you'd probably drive it, right? And the paradox is that I'm getting some echo. What's going on? Hold on. It really knows what happens. I think it's gone now. Yeah, perfect. So if I asked you to travel 1 mile, you'd probably walk it. And if I asked you to travel 2 miles, you'd probably drive it. And the paradox is that you'd probably travel 2 miles and you would 1 mile. And
yeah.
And when we apply this to our own lives, and I appreciate this might not make sense just yet, but when we apply this to our own lives, we often allow ourselves to settle for less than we're capable of, in the way that maybe the apartment that we have is nice, but like the mold isn't too bad, so we kind of let ourselves settle for it. But if the situation was worse, like if the apartment was even shittier, that would give us that activation energy to push ourselves out of that. If you apply it specifically to yourself, for another example, like if someone has a girlfriend and they're nice and they're attractive, but they're not quite what they want, so they stay with them. But like if they were maybe a little bit meaner or they weren't as attractive, maybe that would give them activation energy to leave the relationship. And if you apply this to yourself, man, it's like the job that we have, maybe it is nice and it pays well. It's not quite what we want, and we allow ourselves to settle for so long. And the paradox is that if the job was worse, like if it paid you less, or if it wasn't as enjoyable, and the benefits weren't as good, you probably would have left it a long time ago. It would have given you the activation energy to leave and try and find something that truly is what you desire. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sure. Yeah. It's a matter of perspective, objectivity. You know, sometimes, you know, it's not like we live in third world countries, you know, and we're living in huts, you know. So
no, that, but
right. No, I know, but
yeah.
But that's the whole concept of the topic you're bringing up is, okay, yeah, you're satisfied, but it's not like you're living in a concrete or hut or something, and you're living on dirt and you're taking, all that stuff that comes into play. It's just a matter of, okay, how do I find the opportunity? And when it comes along, you know, like right now, do you take advantage of it? And are you able to get that position you want?
This is why you want to chat. Yeah. So he just like the analogy was maybe like a little bit like placing it wasn't bad, maybe a little bit long, find a way to shorten it down, but I would say like maybe place at the wrong part. Instead I would like really go for his there were definitely some good parts of this. I'm just picking apart like the bits that I would correct myself, because that's obviously how we roll. So more along the lines of like, you really need to challenge his input, because then when he says like, I need to just find the right opportunities, well, it's like, well, can you find the right opportunities if you just continue to sit there and like do fuck all with your life like you have done?
How would you actually frame that?
Definitely not like that. I'd be like, well, let's say that you challenge his input. Well, he said, for example, okay, yeah, I haven't been consistently pursuing them over 30 years. And you turn around and said, okay, well, why not?
Yeah.
Like, let's role play it for a sec. Like, if you turn around and said, like, okay, cool, like you've been pursuing it for 30, you haven't been consistently pursuing it for 30 years. And I turn around and said, okay, how come?
Just because it hasn't always been to the front of my mind. Sometimes things come up, life gets busy. Sometimes shit happens.
I mean, just because life always gets busy, does that mean that you shouldn't pursue the goals that you have in your life, though?
So sometimes they have to be reprioritized.
Sure. What means more to you, though? Or what is so important that it should get in the way of the life that you desire?
I guess there shouldn't be much, if anything. Well,
Sure.
if it's dire, like family, you know what I mean?
Sure. I mean, there are obviously exceptions to the rule, right? It's not to say that nothing should get in the way, but it's to say that at the end of the day, bro, can you truthfully say over the last 30 years that you've put in as much action as you know that you're capable of?
No, I guess not.
You guess not, or you know you haven't?
No, I haven't.
Okay. What more should you have been doing that you're not doing?
I should have been more disciplined with the actions that I took. I should have stayed consistent and like looked for a job consistently.
Okay. Well, what internally then stops you from being consistent?
I don't know. I just didn't have the discipline. I just lost the motivation.
Sure. Okay. Can I challenge that though?
Sure.
Where does discipline come from? Does it fall out of the sky one day on Sunday morning before you go to church? Or is discipline built through relentless action?
No, it's like habit building, right?
So which one is it built from? Is it built from just randomly getting it, or is it built from action?
Built from action.
Okay. So then my question to you is, what internally then stops you from taking the actions to be disciplined so that you can be consistent?
I'm not sure. Like nothing really stopped me. I think maybe I just got in my own way.
Sure. I appreciate you being honest. Like, in what ways do you feel that you're getting in your own way?
Just by sometimes like the job that I have, like it's good, you know. And sometimes like I just like talking back to the point we had earlier is like sometimes I just settle for it because it's comfortable and it's good.
How is that getting in your own way though?
Because it's not aligned with the goals that I truly have.
Which are?
You know, there's 10K months, you know, having that like location freedom.
Sure. Are those goals worth you actually being consistent though? And actually putting in the actions to be consistent?
Yeah, for sure.
Why?
Because like as I've got older, they've become more important. Like I have a family that I need to spend time with. It's just grown more important.
Sure. Okay. Because at the end of the day though, like, do you see what I'm doing, right? It's like I've now spun the objection against you. So now I'm asking you, well, what internally stops you from being consistent? You're saying that you go in your own way. Well, how is it that you're getting in your own way? You then gave me the answer. Then I'll go on to say, oh, your goal's worth you being consistent, because now you've then given me the buy-in against what's stopping you, against now what you need to do. So I'm just spinning you in your fucking head, basically. And so what I then turn around and say is like, well, when you look internally then to be able to achieve your goals of 10K a month, like if we had more time on this and if I could go into more goals or whatever, but be like, well, in order for you to achieve your 10K months, help your family, help yourself the way that you want to, what is it that you need to overcome internally to be able to actually become consistent and take the actions of that?
I'm not sure. I feel like I just need to stop settling for less than what I'm capable of.
If you always tell yourself that you're not sure, though, how likely are you to ever find out the answers to your problems?
I get like I won't be able to.
Sure. Do you want to be able to find out the answers to your problems, or do you want to leave them a mystery?
Well, of course I want to find them out and achieve the success.
And then this is where I would say something like, well, can you find them out if you continue to tell yourself that you're not sure, though?
Yeah. Well, no, you can't.
Sure. Okay. Well, if we go one layer deeper and we look at the problem and identify actually what it is, what is it that needs to shift internally? What is it that needs to change in terms of your way of thinking so that you can actually be the guy who you want to be to achieve the life that you want to achieve?
I need to stop settling for less. I need to be disciplined. Like to just take the actions that are necessary so I can kind of get the ball rolling.
You need to be more disciplined. So how is it that you need to change the way that you view, because if there was no failure involved, would you be disciplined? Would you just take the actions of the disciplined man?
Yeah, like, yeah, for sure.
Sure. Well, the only thing stopping you from being disciplined then is what?
Like failure,
What do you mean?
like the I think based off of that, right? Like the opportunity for failure. Like if there was no failure, if I'd be disciplined, then the opportunity for failure is what's holding me back.
Mm. And then I would just go on to like reframe the idea of failure, basically. But like that's just one quick way that you can do it if somebody's like fucking with you, basically.
You know what it is? You know what I feel like's been holding me back for the past, say, week or so?
What?
And you know what? I say a week. I read it before, like a week would be nothing, and now a week is forever, right? You know what I think's been holding me back? I think so. Like before, like when I would do role plays, and I was killing it, right? So like when you would do objections and you would pull shit out of discovery, it's like I don't know why, maybe because we just didn't have the XP, we didn't know how it would be like. But it's like it was very clear. They'd just be like, oh, I just didn't have the time, and it's very easy to just say that. But what I need to get better at is like looking through the shit a bit more to pick it out so that I can then solve it. Like having more intuition about it. Like maybe that's a function of reps. Maybe that's like being more like analytical on the cause. So I can just pick out the one thing, discard everything, and then go ham on the one.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not your finest performance that I've seen, bro. I would say like
I didn't want to send you my finest one. Obviously, of course, like it's nice for me to look good as well. But I wanted to kind of
absolutely, bro. I'd rather you send like the fucking like the absolute trench work calls that you've had, because at the end of the day, man, like the biggest thing that I can say and the biggest like mindset model that you can go into a call with is like skepticism, right, on someone.
Yeah.
Just like, are you sure? Like, what do you mean? Okay, and like when you're skeptical on someone, they need to disprove your skepticism. Like they feel inclined to disprove your skepticism. They're like, damn, this motherfucker's like trying to like, he really just doesn't believe what I'm saying. If you're like, but why do you even want that though? They're like, damn, they're like, people are thinking, or like at least like the type of thoughts that they're having is like, does he not believe me? How can I make him believe me? Damn, especially if you come from like the higher frame at the top of the cooler side, or like, what is it that even makes you say that though? Or like, why is it that that's so important to you? They're every time they're selling you because you're skeptical of them. It's like human nature, bro. Yeah. And so like you just play into it. And so like when you then pick up on the right parts to be skeptical of, how relentless or like how much action have they put in? How much time has it been? The amount of time that has been will typically determine like what is going on in their head. Put it this way, right? If somebody has a lack of discipline, that means that they have had a lack of action, because discipline is formed through action. Discipline doesn't just fall out of the sky, unfortunately. Yeah. So discipline, if they're not disciplined, then they haven't taken action. Why have they not taken action? Because there's some kind of hesitation between them and action. They're putting it on a pedestal. Why? Because there's some element of like a fear, a doubt, a wrong perception, a wrong belief that you need to change. Sometimes it's just the maddest one little belief that you have to shift, and then everything changes.
Yeah, I like to think. So what I've been thinking about recently, during that type of discovery phase is like symptoms and problems. Like when they say something is like, is that the symptom of the problem or is that the problem itself? And then I frame it through that lens to them to help them understand my point a bit better, just to help get to the point. Yeah, I agree.
Definitely. I think it's like, especially with stuff like procrastination and that, you can be like, well, what's causing you to procrastinate?
Yeah.
And people really don't get it. Then it's like, well, if you believe that you'd be successful, would you still procrastinate? No.
Yeah.
There was no failure involved, would you still procrastinate? No. Because now you got two sides of it, right? And you can build out these questions. They're like plug and play questions. Like, if you believed X, would you still do X?
Yeah.
Or if there was none of X, would you still do X? Like that, you can use that question anywhere on the call. I guarantee you get the answer that you want.
Yeah.
I'll put my life on it, bro.
Do you think that like maybe, so if you say it like by framing it in terms of like failure, right? Do you think that you're then kind of pigeonholing them maybe to something that might not be true for them?
Yeah, maybe. But if that's the case, then like they'll put resistance towards that.
Yeah.
You know, because like the way that I see it is that clearly someone's avoiding something on this conversation. Like there's something that I'm like, sometimes I've even called it out. And like, I just feel like there's something that is being avoided in this conversation. And like, I'm trying to help you pinpoint exactly what that is. But every time we get closer to it, you move away.
Yeah.
There was one call I did with a guy once, and I was like, if you've not achieved your goals for 2 years, and that's because you're procrastinating, but you don't know why you're procrastinating, can I make a suggestion? Yeah. Like, would it be fair to say that you're just delaying the idea of you failing. And he was like, yeah. So, but like, why would you agree with that though? Why would you say that that's the case? So if you make a suggestion, which is, I know that we definitely say don't do that, but like if you do that for whatever reason, if push comes to shove and you need to make a suggestion, I would say that the one thing that you need to do is back it up with a question. Back it up
Get them
and
to sell you on the answer.
Yes, exactly. Get them to sell you on the suggestions. The absolute most important part, bro. 100%.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Go
for
on.
sure. So before we do jump off, bro, where can people find you? I'll put your @ in the description anyway, but where can people find you?
My @ is just my name. It's Rohan Dosanjh. It's RohanDosanjh. I post content. Not much on high ticket sales right now. It's more about personal development, but eventually I'll make the shift to it, and it'll be a big surprise to everyone.
Yeah, boy. That's it. Sales is like, somebody said this once. His name's MJ. He's a cool motherfucker. He said sales is personal development with a paycheck. And I was like, yo, that is a bar. And ever since that day, I just think it's such a sick thing to say. I might put it on my fucking whiteboard up here or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because like all of these ideas and frames that we use for our own personal development are all relevant to other people. And it's like you kind of get to be a bit of a motivational speaker sometimes, especially when you believe in the offer. Like if I believe in the offer 100%, it's like I'm willing to go to any length. Like I'm not gonna lie and shit like that, but I'm willing to go to any length to make sure I can get them over the line. You know what I mean? Just because I have belief in it and it feels motivating. It's like I'm like Tony Robbins on stage.
Yeah, Tony Robbins is a fucking sick speaker. And I get you, bro. Like, yeah, you were literally objection handle for 2 hours on end. And like when you do finally get an offer that you truthfully 100% believe in and you know it can get the result, then boom, you're there. I can't wait till I hire like a bunch of closers, bro, for this offer that I'm running, and then we can just I'll just pyramid scheme it to the top and we'll just fucking
What's your goal with it?
multi-level marketing. My goal to just create a massive pyramid scheme and just scam everyone out of their 9 to 5 basically. My goal, bro, is like 250k a month is where I want to take this, and then I'll be pretty chill. Huh?
Profit.
Yeah, profit for sure. And then even if it's not, like I reckon I could run it at like 60-70% profit margin, I reckon, at 270k a month. So I could maybe get it. I'd still make like a bunch of cash. Man, like the thing is, bro, well, when I get it to 250k, I'll happily just chill, bro. Like I don't need to scale it further. Like I don't need like more than that. Like to me, I'm chill. I'd probably go and start up a charity and go and live in fucking like, I'd go and travel. And I would actually travel for the sake of traveling. Like I wouldn't travel and work. Like I would just travel, go around with like my girl or whatever, and just actually see the world properly. You know.
Have you said that before? Have you said like 100k per month?
No, I haven't actually. Like, well,
That's
when I
fair.
said initially, when I said I hit 10k a month, then I'll do it. But then like 10k was just like nowhere near enough to do what I wanted to do, because I want to do it properly and I want to like build the business so it can just run without me, basically.
Yeah, I agree. People like want passive income, and it's like the only way to get passive income is to build it to enough level where it just like when you've got employees and it's like, oh, you want passive income, you need fucking 10 mil in the bank, and then you can earn interest off it. Like that's my goal. So I can just stick 10 mil in the bank, earn off the interest.
Yeah, and you can literally live off like, I remember Eamon Gadzi releasing a video, right, and he was talking about how he lives off 20% of his income and he invests 80% of his income. I was like, yo, that's and I thought about that today. I was like, why am I only saving like and putting aside like 20% of my income? Because I don't need 80% of my income to live off. I'm just stacking numbers for the sake of stacking numbers. Like, it doesn't even make sense. And I was like, damn, it's kind of like a cool realization, because I've only like really been printing for like 3 months. Before that, I was like in hella debt, bro. I was like 20 grand in debt. Like, yeah, for real. So yeah, haven't always been a baller, bro. I was actually in a lot of debt, but like I really want to just pour so much into this community, bro. I want to make it like, even the money aside, like I just want to make this the best.